Hello, have you ever heard of Mike Krzyzewski? He is one of the greatest college basketball coaches of all time, one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time. And regardless of his crazy name, he wrote an amazing book called Leading with the Heart. And why I chose this for our project is because it goes along with what my future goals want to be, which is being a college basketball coach in my future years. And this also relates to our interpersonal communication class because it talks a lot about communication to others, specifically in verbal and emotional messaging to others. So what I'm going to do here today is first I'm going to talk to you about what goes into having good character, then what goes into building a true team, and then finally I'm going to be talking about what goes into being a dynamic leader and how I try to establish these things in my life every day. So first, like I said, I'm going to be talking about what it takes to have good character, and I'm going to harp on three main points here. I'm going to start off with courage. I think having courage is really important in having good character. Sometimes a voice needs to be heard, and you need to have that courage to speak up and say, hey guys, this is what I think. This is how we get out of this. And I think that's big because sometimes that voice could be unexpected, that voice could be expected, but it's how you establish that voice which is most important. And I think demanding more out of people when times are in need, you need to have that courage to step up and be a leader and say, hey, this is what you got to do. I need you to do this, and respectively, so we can go further with this. Next, I'm going to talk about continual learning. I think you always should be open to learning. You should have a hand on everything. You should be learning how to do different things. Always ask questions and always try to be a reliable guy that can help the group and the team going forward. And then finally, hard work. I think hard work can cover up for a lot of flaws. You could be a really talented guy, but if you don't work hard, you're going to run into a wall eventually. I am a firm believer that hard work will beat talent because talent doesn't always work hard. I think that is a very true statement and something that we can all carry with us, that hard work can accomplish a lot. Next, I'm going to be talking about what goes into being a true team and how to build a true team. And I think it all starts with communication. Communication does a lot, and you're going to talk to people, and that is how you're going to get on the same page as those people. You're not going to build relationships with people through just looking at them or looking at them through Instagram. You're going to build relationships through talking in person and building those relationships. And that's how just communication is done. And that's all I think what starts with becoming a true team. Next, I think, is trust. Trust in a team is so important. I can't put an exact emphasis on how important it truly is. Trust is everything. When you're going through a tough time, this is life. Everything is not always going to be easy. So when you have high trust in people, it's going to take you all the way. And I also think being selfless equals winning. And I think when you're open to being selfless, when you trust the guy next to you or the girl next to you, it's going to take you all the way. Like I said, in pride, you have to have pride in one another, and you have to have pride in what you're trying to do, because you are just one member of the team. The team as a whole needs to have that pride in each other, and that's going to take you the distance in whatever you want to accomplish as a company, as a team, whatever. So next, I'm going to be talking about what I think it needs to take to be a dynamic leader, and I'm going to harp on 3 points. And first, I think you have to ask the question, how successful can I be? I think you have to set realistic goals with yourself. And what I mean by that is, it's hard to go from 1 to 100. It's hard to say, I want to become a millionaire on day one, or I want to win a national championship on day one. You have to be realistic with yourself and how you can do that. And you have to ask yourself, how can I help everybody here? Because again, you are one member of the team around you. You need to make sure that you are doing the most to help the people on the team, not necessarily yourself. Next, I'm going to talk about planning and preparing every day. Plan to win. Plan to be successful, prepare days ahead, and prepare to help everyone around you, not just yourself. Sharing goals, I think, is important too. I think you should have personal goals, and you should be open about those. You should say, hey guys, I think we could do this. I think I could do this. What do you think? And I think it's important to ask others, what are your goals, and how can we collaborate those goals to move together into one and become one as a team? So finally, I'm going to be talking about how I try to implement all these things on my life. And I'm going to go back to the character thing. As far as my character goes, I try to have an open mind on everything, and I try to be a open presence and a nice, genuine presence to everyone I meet. I try to give everyone a chance. I try to talk to everybody and get to know them and view them based off that. I'm not a guy to jump to conclusions or stuff like that. I'm going to be open, and I think I carry pretty good character with me. What goes into being a true team? I think what I look for is, it's hard for me to sit here and say, how do I build a true team? Because quite frankly, I'm not in that role yet. I'm not a college basketball coach yet. I'm trying to be. So what I want to do, and what I do with working for YSU men's basketball, is a guy comes in, a freshman, a transfer. What do the coaches see in him that think he's just not only talented, but he has good character, and that's why he's at Youngstown State? I also look at what players work, what players don't. What goes into having a good work ethic? What goes into having a good character? And maybe players that aren't here anymore or left or whatever, why didn't they work? I think it's important to have good character, a lot more important than having talent. Talent's going to come, especially in a Division I basketball program, but character is what's going to put you over the top. And being a leader, I think just having a helping hand to everybody. Always try to help someone out, lead by example, do the little things. And that's really important to me, and something I carry on my back every day, is try to lead by example in things I could do and just be a good presence. So to wrap up, this book had a heck of a impression on me. It really did. I mean, you could tell why Coach Krzyzewski is one of the greatest of all time, if not the best of all time. Again, this was Mike Krzyzewski's book, Leading with the Heart. And just a quick summary of the three things that I harped on. Character. It's important to have character. It's important to have character a lot more than talent. I think building a team is really important. You can't do it yourself. You can't do it with two people. It needs to be a team, and that team needs to be working towards a common goal. And leadership. Leadership is everything. It can't be one leader. It can't be two. Everyone's got to be somewhat involved in working towards that common goal. So I hope I left you with some things here to think about today. Yes, this book was about college basketball. Yes, I want to be a college basketball coach, but it doesn't matter. Character, building your team, leadership, those are all things that people could take into doing anything in life. And I think those are things, and I hope those are things that you could take with you. Have a great day.